I had to go onto Facebook today because I don't have a phone anymore. I've been doing everything in my power to try to get help. And finally, that included going back to 2013, one thing I never spoke to because I was just being ripped to pieces, and it was bad enough what I was dealing with. But to add to it, I was working at a funeral home that I was promised that I was going to make this certain amount of money, which is great. I was in court fighting for my kids, and as it turned out, I was working for a big, nasty funeral conglomerate that was paying me about $9 an hour. So to even make it to keep a place, to show myself to be a worthy parent, I was working like 60, 70 hours a week. And I got asked out on a date and some dinner that didn't include the McDonald's dollar menu. I accepted, and I had just moved into a place I hadn't even unpacked yet. And he drank too much, and I didn't want him out on the road drunk. And I offered him to sober up at my house. And I got hurt real bad. And I couldn't keep up with that. I was a wreck. It was super ugly and got stalked, and the cops wouldn't do anything. Even though he had a criminal history, they wouldn't even, I don't even know if they ever interviewed him, so I had no idea that crime victims had started a claim for me. But in getting some help for like sexual trauma, I found out that they did, and I've been trying really, really hard for them to put me into some kind of 30-day trauma therapy because I can't do this by myself. I can't handle this. It's like having open heart surgery on the side of the road. There was so much wrapped up in all of that, and now I'm having to relive all of it, and there is no help. You know, while you guys are sitting there fighting each other, you do realize, right, that like you've picked up the swords of our parents and you're fighting this war that's been going on since the dawn of time, and you're not going to change anything. You don't even fight like our parents and grandparents did. They stood up for people. They had voices. They would never in a million years put up with this shit. And if you think that you're doing something special by fighting with your friends on Facebook and not being willing to like look at the deficits of your own party because you're just so busy, pointing fingers at the other one. Like, I'll tell you one thing that I, I hate to admit this, but it is true that we can't help immigrants. We certainly can't give them medical care. You want to know why? Because our people don't get medical care. I'm a fourth generation American, and I'm trying to get help for trauma. What I'm trying to get help for would not be that hard. Trauma, like trauma-based therapy. I could be back in the workforce. I've already lost 6 years of good pay. I've not returned to a business job since that happened. I've moved 14 times in 6 years. I've never been able to get myself back together because this is what it's like when you have post-traumatic stress disorder. Because somebody comes at me and yells at me and like gets in my face, my heart instantly races, like goes up into my throat. It takes me a couple hours to get that calmed down. It's like having a seizure. Next day, I'll have like word retrieval problems, cognitive issues. Oh, guys, I've seen the bowels of fucking America, and it's just gross. Like, it doesn't matter that I'm sober or that I used to be a loan officer or that I'm white or that I'm a woman, or it doesn't matter anything. And it especially doesn't matter that I have trauma and can't handle things like being thrown in places with crazy, mean, raging freaky dudes. Like, oh my God. It's like the help is worse than the hurt. It's just insidious, you know? So apparently, I've been having to go back and, relive this horrific thing, and it is killing me. It's just killing me. And I'm totally out of money. I don't even have a phone now. My storage is about to go to auction, which is like all the pictures I have of my children or my mom. And I'm really just tired of fighting because I don't even know what I'm fighting for. Like, oh, you can start a life. Where? With what? I can't even be in Washington and be with my friends without being triggered and being a nervous wreck. So, yeah, I mean, I feel desperately sad for those people because I know what it's like to be separated from your kids and to be punished for wanting to give your kids a better life. And I don't think it's not because we don't have the money to definitely help American people. It's because our money's being misappropriated on both sides. Get real. Like, quit playing, these freaking, like, your gang colors you're flashing. It's just all a bunch of bullshit. If you really want to do something, make a difference somewhere that you can, because you're not going to win our parents' wars. A lot of them have already died with it, and they passed their sword on to us, and we're not going to do anything either, because this war is manufactured, and we're just pawns. But I'll tell you that rape victims are falling into the criminal system, and addicts and the 10th leading cause of death in this country. And it's convenient for them because once somebody ends up an addict or in the criminal system, they're no longer a victim, they're a criminal. Or, they're doing illicit drugs, you're a criminal once you start doing meth or heroin, right? It's really fucking ugly out there.